What's up, party people? Jude Snowboarder here. Actually, just went snowboarding. I'm exhausted. That's my profile name on Facebook. My page and shop is Jude's Junk. YouTube channel Jude's Junk for frequently asked questions. And there's probably a lot of old guys like me that got out of comics in maybe the 90s, maybe the aughts. And they're getting back into it with the popularity of the MCU movies, and they realize they got a bunch of comics that might be worth a lot. One of the very first things I did was rebag and board all my comics. And I had comics from the 80s that had this cheap type of Scotch tape on them. And when I bought them, it might have been tape from the 70s. But anyways, that Scotch tape actually melted to the bags. And I had bags and bags stuck to each other. So, rebagging, reboarding every single one of my comics. So I had to go out and buy a bunch of relatively cheap boards, resealable bags. I don't want to mess with tape. And that was so fun. I mean, it was exhausting going through it. And I just wanted it to end because it was very time consuming, obviously. You know, at the time I only had a couple thousand comics from the 80s to rebag and board. But looking through every one, remembering where I was when I bought it, the newsstand for these, and the comic book store in Phoenix for that, and the memories of, even if I didn't read the comic, there was memories associated. You know, I used to gamble in high school with my partner, Mike First, my neighbor, and we would gamble comic books back and forth. And we'd go to the comic stores in Phoenix back in the 80s and buy comics because the comic stores were new, you know. And we'd go down to the bookstore off the newsstand and get the brand new ones, and hopefully they wouldn't have a little crease from all the kids reading them. And anyways, the first thing I did was rebag and board all the comic books. And for anybody who's getting back into comics, that is a great thing to do. What I would suggest is, if you're going to open every bag, every comic, and put a new bag and board on there, get CLZ. Get the app right away. Take some time to figure out how to grade. An estimate grade is fine, but get an estimate grade for every single one, because you're going to go through and rebag and board all of them and then be like, oh, and now I need a database. And then you're going to go through all of them and add them and pull them out of the bag and look at the conditions, and then you're going to forget to determine whether some are newsstand or not. Then you're going to have to go back through all of them and, okay, these are newsstand, these are Canadian, these are blah, blah, blah. This is the deluxe, the non-deluxe, you know. So before you sit down to rebag and board everything, find out if you want to get resealable or not. Do your research. Get the boards you need. You know, either the cheap boards or the My Lights and the 2 millimeter boards. Figure out if you want to do the high end or the cheap version, where you're going to store them, in the old paper boxes or the new black BCW boxes, long or short. Figure out where you're going to store them. But anyways, I'd suggest doing all that up front, so when you go through your comic books once. You look to see if they're newsstand or not, and you enter it correctly in the CLZ app. You put in an estimate grade. While you're at it, go do the research, get the tools, and put in your estimate value. Otherwise, you got to go back through all thousands of them again to figure out a price. So don't rely on the graded prices or cover price. That ain't going to help you at all. So go get a tool. You can put in your estimate value, and then next to that you'll see cover prices, estimate value, and you can just get it off of eBay if you want. But anyways, bagging and boarding all the books was a lot of fun for me, and I really wanted it to be over. And when it was over, I was like sad, because I just relived years and years of high school back in the 80s, and old memories, and the feelings I had as a kid of, you know, that I was kind of an overweight nerd, and it was just great, and I was sad when it was over. And so now I sell comic books, and I realize that when people buy comic books, I just love pulling them out, looking at them, estimating the grade again, and getting better at grading, trying to look to see if it's a potential 9A candidate. Now I'm into getting them slabbed with CGC and getting signatures with CGC, and but I just like touching them and playing with them, because if I'm not selling them, then they're just going to sit in a box. I'm not going to go in there and hang out and look at them every day, unless you read them, and that's one way to go through them. But enjoy the process of categorizing everything in your database. And have fun, guys. Happy hunting.